Hi guys, welcome back. Today's video is part 5 of my semi-annual favorites, and today I'm going to be talking all about my favorite eye products that are not eyeshadows. So I'll be talking about brow products, eyeliners, eyeshadow primers, and mascara. So eyeshadows will be next, and I'm really excited for those. So definitely stay tuned. I'm almost through the series. I think I have a couple of different eyeshadow videos that I'm going to do. I'm going to sort of break out palettes by different categories, and then I still have lips to do, and then after that we're done with favorites and we'll go back to like regular videos. So anyway, without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so first let's talk brow products, and if you've been following me for a while, this is not going to come as a shock to you, but my favorite brow product by far is the Soap & Glory Archery Brow Pencil and Gel in One. This has a brow pencil. It's kind of one of those slanted ones, so it's not a super sharp point, but it kind of slants up this way, so I like to use the really pointy end to draw in hairs, and then the flat side to fill in really quickly. And I find that it works pretty well, especially when I'm in a hurry and I want to fill my brows in really fast. And then on the other end, it has a brow gel. So it's really super quick and convenient if you're especially on the go, if you're traveling. I always pack this in my bag if we're going on vacation because it just makes it so easy. You don't need two products. But sometimes I do like a finer, more sharp pencil to really get precise brows, especially like when I'm going on camera or just, you know, if we're going out and I want to look especially nice. I find that I use the Archery just kind of on an everyday basis, and then when I want a little bit more definition, I love a really skinny pencil, and my favorite one back in the day was the Anastasia Brow Wiz, and it still is a really nice pencil, but the drugstore has definitely stepped it up lately and come out with some that are very similar. NYX makes one, L'Oreal makes one, and recently I've been using this one from CoverGirl. It's the CoverGirl Ultra Fine Brow Pencil. This one is in the shade, I think it's a blonde shade, soft blonde, because my brows are a little bit more of an ashy color, so I don't want anything that's too warm, and usually the brunette shades are really warm, so I always go for blonde pencils or like a soft brown if there's that option. And this one is just like the Anastasia Brow Wiz. Honestly, it's a really tiny little pencil, so you can really draw in the hairs easily, and then it has the spoolie on the other side. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a gel with it, so I do have to use a separate gel when I'm using this pencil. And I've really been loving the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Boost and Set. This one is in the shade, oh my god, I can't even see this, it's so small. Blonde. Okay, so this is in the shade Blonde, and what I really love about this is it has this, I don't know if you can see, I'll do a close-up, a teensy little brush, and it's angled, so it just makes it really easy to get your brows and just brush them up. My brows naturally point down, so I always have to use a brow gel no matter what. I know some people who can just fill in their brows and the hairs all point the right direction and they're good. Mine for some reason grow in like this way. It's super weird. I don't know anybody else who has brows like that. Let me know if you do, because I feel like I'm totally alone with that. But anyway, that's why I have to use a brow gel. So I've been loving this one. It has a little hint of tint too, so it helps to just fill them in even more. Actually, I'm wearing this combo on my brows today, and I've really been liking these a lot, and they're drugstore, so they're affordable too. So moving on to eyeliners, I'm going to talk about pencil eyeliners first and then liquid liner. So I have 3 different pencil eyeliners that I love, and they're all at different price points, so no matter what your budget is, you'll be able to choose one of these, and I think they're all really awesome. The budget-friendly option that I'm obsessed with lately is the Kokie Cosmetics Waterproof Velvet Smooth eyeliners. These are waterproof and they're $6, so they're really good, and they are just super smooth and creamy, like just glide on, no problem, and they come in really beautiful colors. I'm loving this forest green one. I've actually been wearing this a lot because it's a deep green, so it's not super bright and in your face, but it just adds a pop of color, especially like on the lower lash line and stuff. It's really pretty. But these last all day. They're amazing on the waterline. I cannot get enough of these pencils, and they are so inexpensive, so I really love these. And then my next favorite eyeliner is the Pixi Endless Silky Eye Pens. These are available at Target, and they're $12 each, And the thing that I love about these, in addition to being really smooth and really creamy, and they last all day as well, but the colors of these I find are just really, really beautiful. They have some really interesting ones. Like today I'm wearing this one, which is Rose Glow, and it's just like the most beautiful color. I actually put it on my lower lash line, and oops, I totally cannot draw a straight line, but they're just interesting colors, and that's why I always keep buying more of these. Like this one too. This one is Sage Gold, so it's like a green but it has some gold to it. A lot of these just have like more dimension to them, I guess. They're not flat colors, which I really, really love. And then they have some mattes too. Like this matte mulberry shade is gorgeous. Let me just show you the swatches of the 4 colors that I have. I definitely want to go and pick up more because I just think these are so pretty. So the first one you're looking at is Rose Glow. And then the next one is Sage Gold. The third one is Matte Mulberry. And then the fourth one is Copper Glow. So I just find that I use these all the time because they are just such unique colors and they last a long time. I really, really enjoy these as well. And they're pretty affordable. They're not quite as affordable as the Kokie ones, but not too bad. And then when it comes to high-end eyeliners, my favorite for years has been the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencils, and I still really, really like those a lot. But I tried last year, I think last summer, the Marc Jacobs Highliners, and these are like on another level. I think the Urban Decay ones are long-lasting, but these are like bulletproof. They do not budge under any circumstances, especially like in the waterline. I think these are the longest lasting eyeliners I have ever tried, hands down. The other 2 I showed you are waterproof and they are long lasting. These are the kind that if you went to sleep at night and woke up the next morning with them on, they would still look perfect. Or if you are crying, these would actually still hold up. So they're amazing. They're expensive. I think they're around $25 a piece, so I only have a couple, but they are really, really worth the money for sure. And then when it comes to liquid eyeliners, there's only one that I've been buying lately, and that's the Jessie's Girl liquid eyeliner. I've tried tons of liquid liners, but this one is my favorite because it has a brush applicator versus the felt tip. I just find the brush is easier to control. It's a really, really skinny brush too, so I find that it's super precise. And some people really love the felt tip. I don't, because it doesn't move, and I like that this, you know, can move with my hand a little bit. I just feel like I have more control, and I know some people feel like they have more control with the felt tip. It's just personal preference. But I used to use the Kat Von D tattoo liner, and when that ran out, I had heard good things about this one, so I picked this one up on a whim, and it is just as good. It's just as long lasting, and the brush is pretty much the exact same thing. So I just buy this one from now on. I don't see any point in buying the higher end one when I could spend $7 and get this. I don't even wear liquid eyeliner that often, so it's just a once in a while thing, but they do make other colors of this, and I do not recommend those because they're actually kind of streaky. When you put them on, they're kind of watery, and they don't make a really nice line, but for some reason the black is really good. And other people had warned me when I first started talking about this, don't use the colored ones, they're no good. I have no idea why the black formula is so amazing and the colored ones aren't, but when I wear liquid eyeliner, I only wear black anyway, so